Rubber coating magnets is a very special process. The rubber magnets that we have that are actually neodymium magnets from the sintered neodymium family, and they have been rubber coated. The way that this rubber coating process works is it is really vulcanizing the process. You're taking the rubber, you're putting it in a mold, and it is forming around it, which gives us the very hard rubber coating, very similar to tires that you have on cars. The problem is by getting very hot, it is obviously would wipe out a standard magnet. So the manufacturers of the magnets have to work with the rubber coating people to get this done. What they do is finish the magnet, and before they magnetize it, they send it to the rubber factory to get it coated. It then gets coated with the rubber, sent back, and then it's magnetized. This creates a very high strength surface that can handle a lot of abuse and a lot of impacts. If you have a magnet application, it's going to need impact with metal impacting or two magnets coming together. You may want to look at this. Another really good application for it is in holding things on glass. We've had a big request through the years with people wanting to hold everything from Christmas wreaths to bows at weddings and things like this on a large window pane without taking a chance of breaking the window pane. So what we do is use these rubber coated neo magnets, and they can go through the glass like this. You don't want to just get close and turn the magnet loose. This is an acrylic plastic so it doesn't break. Many of your large window panes, like churches and other buildings like that, may break if you let a big magnet just slam into it. So what you want to do to make sure you put it on carefully is you would start below it and sort of press the magnet in place, come close to it, and then when it slides into place, it's just going to slide up and into place, not slam into it. Be very careful if you're putting it on actual plate glass because it can break unless you are very careful. Once you get the magnet on here, you'll notice that it does not slide. Now, taking a standard magnet and putting it against steel makes it, you'll test it and you'll see that it really slides if you take just a standard magnet, because nickel that's coating on the magnet is very slippery, and putting it metal to metal is going to make it slide pretty good. Coating these magnets with rubber makes it to where they do not slide. So if you have a vertical application where you're going to have something hung from the magnet and you want it to stay up, you really want to look at the rubber coated magnets because this process works really well. The thing that you have to keep in mind if you're going to look at a custom application where you tell us that you want something done that we don't have in stock means that you have a molding charge. I mentioned earlier about the vulcanizing rubber. This can run $300, $400, $500 to get this mold made, and higher depending on how complex it is. Some of the things that we have done is some large plate assemblies that'll have 3 or 4 magnets on them, and they want the entire plate rubber coated with the magnets in place. This can be done, but again, the mold is over $1,000 for something like that. So the other thing to keep in mind is when you're getting a mold made, you want to make sure that you're in your final stages of development so that the dimensions are not going to change. Because if you get a mold made one time and you decide to change the dimensions and make it a little bigger or a little smaller, you're going to have to pay for a whole new mold to get it made again. That's just the nature of the way the molding process works. If you want to just get a few magnets, like if you just want to pick up some kind of a magnet that we have and you just want it rubber coated for a personal application, the best thing to do is to go to somewhere like Home Depot or Lowe's where they sell the rubberized dip material that you can dip handles of tools in. You can do the same thing with the magnets. You may want to pour it in a plastic cup. You certainly don't want it in a metal can, because if you put it in a metal can, it's going to, obviously the magnet will stick to it and then you've got a mess on your hands. So you have a lot of different things. One of the other rubber coated options that we have, this magnet that you'll see on the website is actually a steel cap, and it's got a little piece right here. This is a rubber coated steel capped magnet. The steel cap allows it to force the magnetic power all to one side, gives it a much higher holding strength, and on the other side it is not quite as strong. But when you use these, you get a much better hold, and the rubber magnet makes it, the rubber part on it makes it very strong and resist impact and rubbing and all kinds of other things. So if you have any questions about rubber magnets, don't hesitate to ask. Hope this helps you understand our rubber coated super magnets a little better.